You see her go home to Manny to get him back, and she's like, Biggie's gonna be okay. She's just a little bruised. I was like, oh, brilliant. Hi guys, it's me and we're back in Molly's world. I firstly want to wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving, and for those of you who are going Black Friday shopping, please stay safe. For those of you who did it online, you're smart because you're me, but I also don't even have the money to do that, but I don't have it yet. It's a mentality. But today we are here in Molly's world where, we hop in a director's seat, sip on our treats, and get into the real good deets. And today we are sipping on tea, but we're doing it like a boss. Because Halle Berry directed her own movie, starred in her own movie, and produced the soundtrack for her own movie, Bruised, which was just released on Netflix yesterday. And I just want to say before we continue that there will be spoilers. So if you have not seen this movie, please go watch it right now, because she had no reason to do what she did. Because I think that the movie was amazing. It was amazing. And I feel like I should be drinking something stronger, but because of what I've seen in the movie, I am not going to be doing the alcohol today, or the liquor, or any of those substances. But without further ado, let's get into the movie review of Bruised. Action. Of course, I love to start off with my actors. And Halle Berry, round of a damn applause, because they tried to play you, and I saw it the other day in the Shade Room, where they were like, oh, Catwoman wasn't a good movie, da-da-da-da, but now everyone's coming around, I think 12 or 13 years later, talking about some, oh, now it's a good movie. No, Catwoman's been a good movie, and they dragged her for her acting, but I think it was amazing, and I also think that her acting was amazing in this movie as well. One thing Halle Berry knows how to do, she knows how to play that frantic, broken woman very well, in that state of mind. I feel like that little, naive, because all I can see her sometimes is how she looked in Their Eyes Were Watching God. And if you don't know if you don't know her track record, get into her resume, because I love Halle Berry. The character, Manny, that little boy made my heart break, okay? I just need y'all to know that. And the actress that played Bobby, which was Jackie's trainer eventually, yes. And the man that played Jackie's boyfriend in the beginning, if you see this, I'm sorry. I know the relationship wasn't healthy, but if you want to do what you did to her, to me, up against the wall, I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm just don't destroy my stuff, and don't hit me. But the aggression, I have a problem. I need to seek therapy and get help. Somebody needs to pray for me. But that man, I don't know, guys. My taste is all over the place. It's Scorpio season. I'm a little, there's so much engraved and entwined into this movie that I feel like I probably won't touch on every single thing, but I promise you, Halle Berry, I noticed it. And as we know, Halle Berry produced the soundtrack album for the movie along with Cardi B. And the first song that hits, I don't know what it is, but that beat dropped, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm in an arena, I'm standing up, I'm ready to cheer, I'm ready to take a shot, I'm ready to drink with anybody and everybody right now. It takes you in this emotional journey, but I loved it because that's what life is. And it resembled that. It didn't build like a movie usually would. Like how you have a calm ass exposition, and then it just leads and builds to a dramatic climax, and then regular story structure. Now, the movie was like literally. It did not go straight up. It was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And it just kept building. And I love that. And once again, this is me warning you again before I continue, but there will be spoilers. So if you have not seen the movie, please stop here. I warned you before, but now we're really stopping here. Go watch because it's worth it. The movie wasted no time to give us that exposition and give us that background. She's working. She doesn't really have that much money because she hasn't fought in like 4 years. She's living with a drunk ass manager that doesn't really care for her, but somehow still cares for her, but only probably wants the money from her and nothing else. And we see that all within like the first 10 minutes of the movie. And it didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel overcompensated for anything. It felt like they were just getting to the point because the movie had so much detail packed into it that they had to just get that shit out of the way, and I appreciated it 100%. I love the little details that were included in the exposition though. I keep saying exposition like I'm some professional, like I know what I'm saying, because that's a big word, but really no, if you know what it means, it's really not even that serious. But in the beginning, Halle Berry, Jackie was sitting talking to this old lady, and I found it very cute that the old lady was like, my son is gay and he's just got married, but the person he got married to, girl, he's a snack. I was like, oh my god, that is so cute. I love that little moment. Aside from the man that Justice was with in the beginning, and he was definitely abusing her, it gave very sexual, it gave Love the Way You Lie enough. If you guys love The Way You Lie by Rihanna, that's what it gave. And then it gave Enough, you know, the movie with Jennifer Lopez, that's what that relationship gave in the beginning. And yes, I was very attracted to that toxic behavior. But then when Jackie went to this underground thing with him and she was fighting this big werewolf looking girl, this fine black man, and I love the fact that his name was Immaculate, because he himself was immaculate. That is, oh god, he can train me. Immaculate, I need a trainer. Yes, yes. I love black men, and that is one black man that I do love, because Immaculate was immaculate. Anyways, moving on. Jackie meets Immaculate in this underground thing and takes her to train at his gym, where she eventually meets Bobby, played by Sheila, I think. And her and Bobby just at first didn't really connect, but eventually do get to connect. And you can see that there's a, not an angst, but like they're fighters. So they're obviously not going to be completely friendly to each other at first, but as they go along, they build that trust. So here we have her like training, of course, you know, to get back to the UFC, or is it UCF? Sorry, I keep mixing up my letters, and it's because UCF, the college, is like 5 minutes away, but it's definitely the UFC. Or is it? I don't know what it is, but she was training to get back into the octagon. We're going to call it the octagon from here on out in the video, because I don't want to mix up my words and my letters. Jackie's mother, Angel, pops out of nowhere and drops a child on Jackie and said, "This is your son." And the man is like, "You have a child?" And Jackie's like, "Yeah, I did have one, but I gave it to the father because I didn't really want it. I gave him up." The father was shot in the head, and I think the little boy witnessed it. And I think that's why he did not want to speak anymore, and that he was really traumatized. Like, I feel like he saw his father die. And like watching that and then still knowing that you don't have a father after that, it's really hard on a 6-year-old child. The directing in this movie was beautiful because there were certain camera angles and certain scenes that really stuck out to me. And one of them was when Jackie first walked into the gym to look for Immaculate. This was her training with the new trainer. As she walked in, we can only see this shot of her moving forward with like a mirror in the background. And then there's this man in the ring. and he's like looking at Jackie, but we can see that he's looking at her and talking to her in the mirror. Like, if you guys see the movie, you'll know the scene, and the setup of that camera, brilliant. And then there's another scene where Bobby and Jackie are walking on the beach, and they had just finished running, and they stopped to like look at each other. And as they walk away, Bobby starts to talk about the beach, I think, or reminisce on something. But the camera is still there on the waves for like a split 3 seconds. There's like a lag. And it kind of like leads into the emotional aspect of the scene that's about to come next. And chef's kiss, Halle Berry, the directing. Girl, you knew what you were doing. I don't know why people ever doubted you. And if anyone is doubting you or is saying or critiquing this movie in a bad way, they're haters. Because yeah, you have taste, my girl. I'm a person that loves when music fits the moment in a movie. And girl, that scene with the Hallelujah instrumental, I know everyone else was on this. Cardi B, her, and everything else. But that Hallelujah instrumental, that scene when that instrumental played out, I felt it. Because it felt like a rebirth. It felt like Jackie finally realizing, I have to do what I have to do to take care of my son. And not only my son, but myself. Because if I'm not good, then the people around me are never going to be good. My environment is never going to be good. My future isn't going to be good. I'm never going to get better if I don't want better for myself. In that moment, it was a shift for me. I feel like that was the shift for her. That was the moment where she realized, I have to get up. I have to get up and I have to change. Literally, like my shirt and my sweater says, don't change, evolve. She knows that this is my life and I may not have it all together, but I have to continue to grow. I have to continue to get better. It's not that Jackie isn't a fighter, and it's not that she's going to stop fighting, which means that she hasn't changed. She's just growing. She's evolving. She's becoming a better version of herself. And the fact that Hallelujah was the song or the instrumental playing at that moment for me, again, chef's great big sloppy kiss, Halle Berry. Thank you. Halle Berry doing her own stunts for me is it, because she really did it like a boss. Like, I need y'all to understand. She was really in that movie fighting. She was really beating bitches' ass. Like, I don't think y'all understand. Like, we've seen Halle Berry do some action shit before in Catwoman and other movies, but you ain't never seen her do no action shit like this. She was on her Jet Li, Jackie Chan shit. And that's on period. Manny, played by Little Mr. Boyd. I can't remember his first name, but I do know his last name is Boyd. Manny, like I said before, he was traumatized knowing that his father died. And I never cried so much in a damn movie, but Manny never spoke until the ending of the movie. And I felt that was very important, that he did not speak. Because the moment that he spoke, y'all, I'm about to cry again. The first moment with Manny that made me cry was watching him play the piano with his father. Because, yeah. But she had a panic attack in a restaurant and basically told Manny to fuck off. And it hurt Manny's feelings, so he ran away. And he went back to Angel's house. And Angel now is taking care of him. But she didn't know. And he didn't know. So now she's basically lost her son. But she knows that her mom is going to take care of him until she gets to a better place or a better mindset to take care of her son. As the rounds progressed, her mom got more and more excited and more emotional. And I am getting goosebumps, about to cry again. Because she didn't say much. All she said was, yeah. And like, oh, when she said, yeah, and she was like cheering Jackie on, her eyes were swelling up with tears. And like one of them were about to fall. I was like, this is so like heart-wrenching, but like so like gut-twistingly beautiful. And I was like, yeah, I felt what her mother felt. Like, I felt that energy of, oh my gosh, she has to win. Oh my gosh, she has to win. But at the same time, the emotional baggage that was behind it, I was like, yeah, like, oh, you did a great job at Halle Berry did a great job at producing the emotions that she needed to produce in this movie. And I love the fact that the movie was named Bruised. And I'm a person, I look for the title in the movie or to see like how the title of the movie relates to the movie. And finally, towards the end of the movie, after she lost the match, she did not win the match, but she won the heart of the people. Even though the lady killer won, she still cheered Jackie on. They still hugged each other, and she still thanked Jackie for sharing the octagon with her, for sharing the space with her. Because although she beat the hell out of her, it still is a sport. And at the end of the day, they're humans outside of this sport. They're women outside of this sport. They're people in this that have to exist in this world. And it's just a sport. Yes, it is their life, but it's no reason to carry that angst outside the ring. So I love the fact that the people supported Jackie coming back, but also her opponent, the lady killer, supported her as well. And finally, after she lost the match, we see her go home to Manny to get him back. And she's like, Biggie's gonna be okay. She's just a little bruised. I was like, oh, brilliant. She just hands Jackie the bag. And as they're about to walk through the door, Manny grabs Jackie's hand. And I start to cry even more. Because earlier in the movie, Manny didn't want to touch Jackie. He didn't want to hold her hand. He didn't want to be associated with her. He didn't want to hug her or anything. He hooked his finger inside of her jacket pocket and walked with her. That's how they would walk around the place, because he just didn't trust her yet. And in that moment, when he grabbed her hand and she looked at him, I was like, wow. Yes, this movie ended beautifully. First of all, I don't know how I slipped up. I don't know how I let this pass, but Miss Bobby and Miss Jackie was getting it down. And I was just like, the taste. First, we have Immaculate, a fine black man. And now we have Miss Bobby, a beautiful chocolate woman. A beautiful, dark, rich chocolate woman. All over Miss Halle Berry. And we know the quality of Miss Halle Berry already. We know she's beautiful. So we can just imagine these two beautifully powerful black women just oozing and eyeing it. Oh, yes. This is not a video for kids, but I was living for that moment, Halle Berry, and I just need you to tell me, how did it taste? Because Miss Sheila, you're beautiful. And Miss Sheila, I just want you to let me know how did Miss Halle taste too, because you guys are both beautiful. And I love that moment. Thank you. Shout out to the LGBT community. We love to see it. And thank you, Halle Berry, for that moment. I know you probably didn't do it for that, and it fit very well in the storyline. I'm not gonna lie. And I hate when LGBT moments or gay moments are put on characters and you're just like, okay, like, that person didn't need to be gay. But it fit the storyline, and I love that because Halle Berry herself in the movie acknowledged that, like, I don't really need a relationship right now, and I'm sorry to break your heart. I really am. It's not that I'm experimenting. It's not that I'm confused, but I just have to win this match for myself, and then I can figure out what I want, and then I can know exactly where I want to go with this. And after she lost the match, it was a beautiful moment to see her and Bobby come back together, and Bobby was like, hey, I have a long ass story for you, which is kind of like how they met at first, the long story short story thing. I love that banter and that like continuations with the parallels throughout. But to see them come back together after that, not necessarily in a relationship, but to just reconcile, I love that moment and them coming full circle. But it brings me back to my point of me drying my damn tears because I thought the movie was ending after she got Manny back from her mother and she left. And here we see them walking on the side of the street with their suitcases, you know, heading on out. And I'm thinking, okay, credits are about to roll. But then they pass in front of the store. He tugs on Jackie's hand for her to tie his shoelaces, which was the shoes that Jackie bought him earlier that he never wore. But finally now he's wearing it. And as she's finishing tying his shoes, Manny turns to her and says, "I love you, Big." And I'm about to cry again because that moment was so beautiful because they didn't know where they were going. And she's just like, "It's gonna be okay, little. It's gonna be okay." And he looked at her and was just like, "I love you, Big." I don't even know if he said, "I love you, Big," or what. But it felt like he said, "I love you." Because I really am about to cry. And that's crazy. Because the emotional strength of that, knowing that he did not speak through the entire movie, and the final seconds, he was the last person to speak in the movie. He was the person to have the last word, and I love that. I loved the fact that he was the last person to speak. And I love the fact that Bobby also took care of Manny and was there for him, taught him how to meditate and relax and like find his center. And I feel like Bobby herself, knowing how to find her own center, became Jackie's center. And when Jackie realized that Bobby was her center, she realized that she had to find her own. And that's what I meant by don't change, evolve. So once again, congratulations, Halle Berry, because this movie was freaking beautiful. Congratulations to all the women, because it was a completely female soundtrack, if I'm stand corrected. And congratulations to all the actresses and producers and everyone that helped her and put work into this movie, because it was worth it. And if you haven't seen it, I promise you need to go see it now. It's on Netflix. Please go watch it now. I love you guys so much. It's been a great time, you know, getting into the real good deep. If you guys enjoy getting into some things with me, feel free to scroll down, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell so you get notifications and updates for when I post. But this is all for now. I'm about to hop out of my director's seat, you know. I mean, it was Halle Berry's seat for this movie, but I'm about to, you know, give it back to her and, you know, continue to sip on my nice tea like a boss. And we'll be back for more soon. I love you guys so much. Until next time. Mwah.
Casper, it's perfect.